All right, thank you very much. Let us start this. I request everyone to please be on mute so that it will be easy for us to, conduct this program. On the other side also, I am also trying to put you on mute. If you have any question, you may ask by unmuting yourself, right? So very quickly, we're going to start. Thank you. So as you can see that today we are going to have a webinar on Microsoft Excel. No, and okay, somebody is using this board. I request everyone to be please, check this Excel that because it's a Zoom, so it's sometime somebody is showing the art. I request not to use this thing. Thank you. So today we are going to have a Microsoft Excel. This is one of the technology, or I would say one of the tool, which is itself is a mystery for most of us. And when I say demystify Microsoft Excel in 60 minutes, trust me, this is the biggest lie I'm going to tell you, because if anybody can demystify Excel in 60 minutes, then he is no less than a god, right? So before we go ahead and start, this is we are going to have a very small and basic I would say hands-on experience on Microsoft Excel. I have shared uh, the practice sheet on mail. If you have not received it, please write your email ID on this chat box so that we'll be able to send you the mail, right? And once you receive the mail, please download it. And if you will be doing it hands-on, it will actually give you a lot of confidence to actually demystify yourself in Microsoft Excel. So the purpose of this particular program is to actually give you a hands-on experience by which you will be able to enhance your analytical skills. When I say analytical skills, this is one of the skills which will help you to work and to become a valuable asset for the company or wherever you are working right now. So, right, just a minute. So during this whole program, I would like to share some guidelines with you for this particular program, which will help you to understand that what we have to do during this. So I request all the participants to be on mute during the topic, right? And if in case you have any queries or quiz, you can unmute yourself and ask, or you can use the chat box, which I will be keep looking frequently to answer your question. Right, and at the end of the session also, after every module, I'll give you a space so that you'll be able to ask your query into it. In case of any audio or video connectivity issue, you can again use the chat box system for us. And in case you find any problem or disconnect yourself, then you'll be able to join back by clicking on the same link, right? And after the session, we can always connect with each other, because I believe the learning is not going to end here. And we have a lot of programs which are on a way right now for you. And you'll be able to strengthen your skills by joining such kind of skill-based seminars through DataRich Technologies. And after the session, you will be receiving an email which will have a feedback link with you for you. And once you fill the feedback form, there the most important thing which we'll be looking is your complete name, because on the basis of that, we'll be issuing an e-certificate to you, right? And that e-certificate will be useful to you, right? So we have our one of the support here, Mr. Prem Prabhakar sir. So he will be actually asking your email ID and all the behind the scene role he will be doing it, right? And we will also, request you to please keep following our social media pages of DataRich, which I'll share the link at the end of the session so that you'll be able to know a lot of information. So now from here, I request Prem Prabhakar sir to please take care of the behind the scene activity, and I'll focus now on giving you the presentation. Thank you. So before we go ahead and start, I would like to tell you a little bit about DataRich Technologies. DataRich Technology is actually an IT consulting initiative of ABS Engineering College. And the focus of this DataRich Technology is business transformation and developing ecosystems for most of our clients. And in this line of developing and strengthening our clients, we are having 4 important domains in which DataRich Technologies are working. So one is the product development, whereas we are helping organization to develop the product for them. We are also working on a lot of projects with the governments and private organization. Then we are also into IT consultancy. We are right now connected with a lot of IT consultancy, whereas we are supporting them. We are their technology partner, and enhancing them their skills with the help of our proficiency. And the fourth important thing is that we are also dealing in corporate trainings. We are strengthening our resources in such a way that they will become a valuable asset for any organization, whether they are a student or they are a working professional or anywhere. So if you want to know more about it, you can always visit www.datarits.com. This is one of the websites where you can go and find out all the information related to our services, right? So very quickly, I would like to tell you about myself also. I am your facilitator. My name is Mohan Prasad, and in Database Technologies, I am handling the position of country head as marketing and HR. And I have around 14 years of experience, whereas in different domain, training, marketing, sales, and especially, I have a lot of experience in data handling also. So that is why I thought, why don't I use my skills to strengthen, the resources like you people. So that is why we are conducting such webinar for you. Thank you very much. Now, moving further, we are going to talk about the agenda of the day. What are we going to cover in today's webinar? We are going to talk about the most important thing, that why Excel is important. Right now I'm using English language. If there is any problem in terms of language, you can always tell me. I can be bilingual, Hindi or English also, which I will try my best, because we have a lot of people from around the country, like from Hyderabad, we have people from Assam. So if they find any difficulty in Hindi, then we can switch to English again, right? So why Excel is important, we are going to learn about it. Then we are going to cover 6 important topics: data presentation, right? Formatting and editing, basic mathematical function, for which we are going to cover 3 modules: basic data analytical skills through sorting and filtering, and pivot table. This is one of the very powerful tool of Excel. We are going to cover 3 modules for that, but very basic pivot table operations we are going to learn today. And the most important thing which we face is how to print a spreadsheet. So whenever we have to take the printout of any spreadsheet or any Excel file, then many people face difficulty into that. So we are trying to be as basic as possible with in this particular webinar, right? So why Excel is important? When I say Excel, it's Microsoft. It's a product of Microsoft Excel, and it is an essential tool for any business, right? And if somebody wants to really excel in their career, one has to become an expert in Excel, right? So this is one of the key. If you really want to excel in your career, you need to excel in Excel, right? So we know how to efficiently apply it when it becomes a powerful tool. It allows you to handle vast amount of data. It can automate your task and present complex information in the most easiest way. So I would say, Excel is actually a stair for your career growth. So you can see a person is, climbing a stair. So the stair is nothing but the proficiency in Excel, right? So the more proficient you are in Excel, by which you will be able to grow in the organization, which is the evident proof. I have seen in many organizations, people are growing because of this particular skill they have, right? So moving further, one thing we are all aware about, the 5 elements, if you have heard about it, which is air, fire, water, earth, and ether. Ether is also known as space or universe. So these are the very 5 known element, right, in this particular whole universe. And it is stated that, whole universe has been developed because of these 5 elements, because of the combination of these 5 elements. And if, as a human being, if we can master any of the element, we are no less than God, right? So this 5 elements are actually that element which will give you a lot of power, lot of lot of visibility, lot of mastery. So so even a lot of magician, lot of sorcerers, use to use these elements to show some magic. So I am also going to show you a magic, and I'm trying to become a magician for you people, right? I'm joking right now, I'm not a magician, right? But if you really want to become the true magician in this current world, the very important thing is to become the master of the 6th element, right? So if I say master of the 6th element, what does it mean? No, so the 6th element is nothing but data, right? So in one of the uh, interview, Jack Ma said that the coming era is going to be the era of data. We have seen a huge evolution, a huge revolution in terms of technology. So how our world has seen a disruption in last 50 years because of technology, right? And there was an era, there is actually a current era of information technology, but now in coming days the era will be of data, whereas all the people will be able to become masters when they will be able to handle data in the right manner. So one of the example of data is, in current world, the current situation, which is COVID-19, right? And all over the world right now are fighting to become the master, to find out the vaccine of this coronavirus or the COVID-19. And when there were a time, in 20 years back, if we have to design any vaccine, it used to take 15-20 years to design that vaccine, and it is all because of the availability of data. Now we are right now in the phase of preparing a vaccine in just small span of time, and that is all possible because of the availability of data, utilization of the data, and proper utilization of data, so that we'll be able to come up with the proper solution in terms of vaccine. So this is the power of data right now, and if at this point of time we know how to use data, we'll be able to become the master, right? And that is why I say this is the most important sixth element, right? And when I talk about data, Excel is the very first important tool which we have to really understand, because this is how we can actually manage data. We can make it beneficial, we can make it valuable for any place, whether we are a student or an employee. We can make it beneficial for our associated workplace or university or college, right? So if we really need to start playing with data, the very first tool is Excel. So let's start now with the first topic of data presentation, in which we are going to talk about two modules. The module 1, which covers row, column, 3 plus signs, text, number, dragging the number. Module 2 covers copy of data, paste special. This is one of the important tools which we should know. Paste special in a way of transpose, how to delete data, and format painter. So very quickly, we'll go and open the Excel sheet which we have right now. If you really want to understand, then I request you to please open the Excel sheet so that you will be able to, come on the same page. So this is the module 1, right, of the data. So when I talk about any data, especially in Excel, so this is how the spreadsheet looks like. This is a fresh Excel sheet which looks like, right? And this whole spreadsheet is divided into two important parts. That one is the row, which says A, B, C, D, E, F, G,
अंकल
H,
भेज रहे हैं
and also the column, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the most important thing is that this whole data of row and column has been divided into cells. So these cells has some address. So where right now I am pointing, this is there is an address of this cell. The address is that we always count row first. So the address of this row is B2, right? So this is the address of a cell. Now, why this is important, because we have to really understand that many people get confused at what is row, what is column. So I am just sharing it with you so that you will be able to understand what exactly it is. Now, I'm going to show you a magic in a way that I am going to disappear and you will be only able to hear my voice. Why I'm doing it? Because if you look at me, I know I'm little handsome, right? So if you look at me, you will not be able to focus on the spreadsheet which I'm sharing right now. So I'm going to disappear me so that you will be able to focus on the spreadsheet, right? Thank you. In the meanwhile, you can see my photograph, right? And also focus on spreadsheet which we are right now, showing. So there is row after row and column. There is very important thing which we have never noticed, right? So that is, the plus sign. You can see that in Excel, there are 3 plus sign which plays an important role, and all the 3 plus sign has a different meaning to it. So what is that first plus sign? This is one plus sign which you can see, a doctor sign. Then there is another plus sign which is a plus sign with 4 arrows which pointing 4 different direction. And there is third plus sign which is this, right? So all the 3 plus sign has a different meaning. When I say this doctor wala plus sign, which means that I am using this particular pointer to select the area. When I say the second plus sign which has 4 arrows, that means I am going to place the data from one place to another place or another cell. For example, if I write my name here as Mohan and now it is at B2 cell and I want that this Mohan should, move from B2 to D2. So what I'll do is I will go and point the cell in such a way that this 4 direction plus sign will come and I need to drag the data and here it is on B4. So this plus sign data with 4 pointers used to drag the data. Then there is another sign which is this. Now what is this? This is the plus sign. If I need to put Mohan in all the column from 2 to 10, I just need to use this plus sign. And this plus sign will only come when you put the cursor at the corner of the cell. And that is at the right corner of the cell. So the moment I put Mohan and, drag this thing till D10, I can see that now Mohan is on in all the column of from D2 to D10, right? So this is how we use the plus sign. These three different plus signs. So this one, this doctor plus sign is for what? For selecting. The second is to drag the data from one place to another place. I select everyone and then I put the data back to in column B. And if I want to drag Mohan from B10 to B15, the third plus sign plays an important role. So this is a very basic thing which I have shared with you people, right? And in module 1, there is one common problem which everyone faces. Suppose this is a 1 and I want to make it a serial number. The moment I try to drag this 1, how do we do it? With the help of this black plus sign. With the moment I try to drag, many people face problem that it won't come in series. Series means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what should I do at that point of time, right? We are in India, so we use some jugaad at some point of time. So what we do is we write 1, then we write 2, then we write 3, and then what we do is we select all these 3 cells, and after that we drag, and then automatically it will come in a series. But this is one way. But another way is, if I really want to put the series in all the cell, the moment I drag, I can see that there is a small dialog box which says autofill option. The moment you click on this small arrow, look at this small arrow, very small arrow. I will, maximize the size of my screen so that you'll be able to see that dialog box, right? So you can see this dialog box which has a small drop down menu. The moment you click on this drop down menu, you can see there are options: copy cell, fill series, fill formatting only, fill without formatting, and flash fill. So if I want the series, I just need to simply tap on fill series. The moment I click on fill series, automatically the serial number comes in front of it. So this is the end of module 1. Now we are going to talk about module 2, right? Now here you can see, the data is divided in 2 parts. One is in text form, which is Mohan, and second is in the numeric form, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the property of Excel says that whenever we put any number, it will automatically align towards the right. That means the alignment of the data, you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, it's towards the right of the cell. And if we put any text, it will automatically align towards the left. You can see that Mohan is aligned towards the left in the cell. So this is the property of Excel, right? Now, what are we going to do? Why this thing happen? If we want to know that this particular text, whether it is numeric or alphabet or a text form, how do we gonna do it? We just going to look at the alignment of that particular text. With the help of that, we can find out whether it is text or numeric. Okay, now what are we going to do? We are going to copy the data. So let's change the alignment. We have changed the alignment. We have made this way, right? And now I want to copy this data. So what I do is, copy plays an important role in Excel. Many people actually face a lot of problem when they copy the data. So if I have to copy this data from this sheet to a new sheet, right? What will happen the moment I click this, you can see that the data has been copied in this way, right? There is another way to copy the data with complete formatting. Suppose I have done the formatting in such a way. Let's say I put my complete name, Mohan Prasad, right? And I put the data this way. And what I do is You can see now the Mohan and Mohan Prasad is not looking clearly here. Okay, so the moment I copy the data from this spreadsheet to new spreadsheet, which is sheet 3, right? This is the way, what I'm trying to say at this point of time is that this particular corner, which is the corner of row and column, which is the end of row and one, that means above one and before A, this particular corner plays an important role. If I have to copy the complete sheet rather than selecting the sheet one by one, what you can do is you can point your cursor at the topmost corner of the spreadsheet before A and above one. And if you copy the sheet, you will be able to copy the complete sheet in the same format which you want in the other spreadsheet. So this corner plays an important role in Excel. Remember this corner, right? Then let's talk about some important rule, right? It says here we are going to do some important things. So this is sheet number 2. Sheet number 2, module 2, which says, this particular sheet is having some basic mathematical operation. It says that, the number of date, right? Name of date, number of date, then X and Y. So this X and Z. So this Z is actually what? Is the sum of C and D. You can see 3 plus 1, 4, 2 plus 4 is 6, 3 plus 5, 8. Now, why I'm saying this particular thing is to you, that sometime when we do some operations and I want the value of Z to be pasted somewhere else, right? I want to paste the value at I. The moment I copy and paste, it will become 0. Why? Because here we have used some mathematical operation, some formula, either addition, multiplication, or any kind of formula. I will not be able to copy the data. That, let's say I'm not able to paste the data in the same manner if I simply copy and paste the data at any other place. It will automatically become 0. So if I want to share, if I want to transfer the same data from one place to another place, here we use a very special column which says paste special. So what I do is I copy this whole data, and while pasting, what I do is I right click here, and then there is an option of paste special. The moment I click on paste special, this dialog box open, right? And the moment this dialog box open, I just simply need to click on value. The moment I click value and press OK, you can see that the data which was earlier coming 0 now has come in the same value, right? This is one of the very important thing. Paste value not only help you to paste the data in terms of value, but if you want to copy the formula of one place to another place with the help of this thing, you will be able to do it. Suppose in what ways I can paste. I can paste in a way of formula. I can paste in a way of value, which I have done right now. And if I want to copy the format also, I can do that also. And if there is any comment in, let's say I put some comment here, right? The moment I inserted a comment here, I am Mohan. So what I do, the moment I try to copy the data, this is a comment which I have put here. The moment I try to copy the data at different place, right? Oh, it's copying, right? So sometimes it doesn't copy, right? But if really want to do it, I can do it with comments also. I will be able to do it, copy it, and then paste, right? And then value and this. So with the help of this, you will be able to uh, paste the data from one place to another place in the same manner which I was saying. Now, the second most important thing is that right now you can see that this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it is written in a column, and I want that this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday should be written in this way. This is the way which is in row way, right? So from right to left, it should be from left to right, it should be written. And I want I don't need to write this. And how I'm going to do it, I simply need to copy this and put where I want this data to be, from horizontal to vertical. How I'll do it, I just simply need to paste special. The moment I do copy, paste special, this box come in front of me, and I just need to simply click on transpose. The moment I click on transpose and click OK, any data which was on which was on the which was from which was written in a column, now it will automatically come in a row the way it is here. So this is one of the best way we'll be able to do it. Right now we'll move towards the next part of this module, that is deleting the cell. Right, so there are many ways to delete the cell. We can simply put the cursor to any cell and we can delete by pressing the delete button. Right, we can also delete by clicking the right, we put the cursor on any column and right click on it and delete it like this. Right, so this is the way we can delete. But if you really want to delete the whole cell, right, let's say this is the whole row I want to delete, I just simply need to click on number 4, right click and delete. Right, the moment you will be able to delete the whole row. The same way, if you want to delete the whole column, click on C or the column which you want to delete and right click on it and delete it. Right, sometime what I do is I don't want to delete you know uh, this thing, that let's say there is this is one thing, this one place is missing. I want that this whole thing will be come up above and whatever data is here should be deleted. So I click on right click on this, click on delete and shift cell up, which means the moment I do it, this particular cell will be automatically up. The whole thing which is written in this, everything will come one cell upward. So this is the way we will be able to delete the thing. Now this is the end of module 1. Right, so
मैं वो देख रहा हूँ अपना.
very quickly we'll move to the now the second important thing, which says formatting and editing. This formatting and editing plays an important role because generally this is the most important challenge we face when we talk about this thing, the formatting and editing. So this is one data which I have already shared with you. Now this is one data we have in front of us, which has applicant ID, applicant name, date of birth, experience in year, salary expectation, and city. Right, you can see as per the property of text and cell, all the numbers are automatically aligned towards right and all the text are automatically aligned towards left. Right, so if I really want to make it presentable, the most important thing is to make it presentable. So what will I do? I will select this whole table. So there is one important way. If you want to select, again the same plus sign, you can do it by this, or you can use shortcut key also. The shortcut key is nothing, just shift control down arrow. You will be able to select all the data at the down, and if you want to select the data from the right, shift control right, you will be able to control the data towards the right. So here what we have done, we have select the whole table, right? And now what we want to do, let's do some alignment. Alignment says central align. This is the moment, these are the area where we can actually align the data. Right, so centrally align. Then if you want to align all the data towards the left, this is the way. If you want to align all the data towards the right, this is the way. Right, but I prefer to select the data at right alignment. Right, and then I bold, use with the help of this bold, I made the header of this data in a bold way. Right, now formatting place that it looks good, but I want that whole data should be in border also. So this is a place where we can use border. This is on the home page of Excel. So when we click the drop down menu beside this border icon, I can see lot of range of border comes in front of me. So I will quickly click on all border. The moment I click on all border, it started looking like this. So applicant ID, application name, date of birth, experience in year, salary expectation, and city. It will start looking like this. Right, so these are the basic formatting. Right, and if I want that this particular cell is quite big and I want that I only want to use this much of space. Right, so but the moment I do it, I can see that few of the name are not visibly clear. So with the help of wrap text, I will be able to make it so visible in the same width of this column. So suppose this the name, the moment I select this name and I click on wrap text, the moment I click on wrap text, you can see Hemendra Kumar Singh comes in one, the same width which I have chosen. The same goes with Priya Ranjan Bharti, Dhairya Singh Raghav. These are the names which are coming in the same way. So wrap text actually allows you to fit a lot of data in the minimum possible width of a column, right? Same goes with merge and center cell. So suppose I have to pick, few data which I want to merge in two column, right? Like here I write city, right? City 1, city 2, city 3, right? And I want to write name Delhi, and then Ghaziabad, and let's say Kolkata, right? And I want to say that this is all city. This is also city, this is also city, and this is also city, right? So I simply drag it also. Now I want that, why I have to write city three times when all the three places are city. So what I can do, I can actually, merge this cell, and these whole three places will be come under the category of city. So I select this city, all the three cities together, click on merge, right? And the moment I click OK, this whole three places will become city, right? So this is the way we can actually do it. The merge cell, the usage of merge cell, this whole three places are the, okay, this whole three things are the city. So this is the usage of merge cell. If we want to put, if there are repetition of similar data and I wanted to put it in such a way that everything looks similar, so I can use merge cell in this way, right? Then also if I want to, use some colors, right? Or I want to use the different type of, text. Right now, the by default setting is Calibri 11. This is the font name. 11 is the font size. It comes by default. If I want to make it, Times Roman, right? The moment I click Times Roman, it will change into Times Roman. So this is the place where I can change the format, the type of format, and also I can put, the city color, right? If I want to put the city column in, let's say, some specific color, so I can choose from this bucket icon. With the help of this bucket icon, I can fill that particular selected column in this way. I want the salary expectation should be in red because salary is a very big concern for many companies. So I put the salary in red color. I want the name to be in green, so I select the applicant name and select this thing in green, right? But I want the date of birth, not the background should be white, but the text color should be, let's say, orange or maybe blue. I'll be able to do this. So these are the way by which we'll be able to color the background and the text with the help of these two options. The one is the bucket option, and the other one is the the font color option. With the help of that, we'll be able to, do this kind of thing. So this is the formatting. Right now, the second module of formatting talks about number formatting, right, and conditional formatting. So when I say number formatting and conditional formatting, right, so this date of birth, just a minute. This is the module number 4. This particular date of birth is written in different way. So if I want to change the style of this date of birth, so there is a way by which I will be able to do it. By default setting of any date, in which month always comes at the first, then date, and then year. So this 3 is actually the month, 23 is the date, and then 1997 is the year. I want to change the format of this date. So I simply click and select all the date of birth, and then when it's selected, I simply right click on that, and then this is written format cell. The moment I click on format cell, the category comes in front of me. This category says that you can choose the option you want to do it. So there is a lot of option. This is the by default option which is there already, right? Then there is an option in which you can choose the day, month, date, and year also. The moment I pick this, automatically the whole thing will be into this. So you can say that on March 23rd, 1997, it was Sunday. If I don't like this format, I can simply again right click on the selected place, and then format cell, and let's choose this time this thing which says 14th March 12. That means this. This is the way. That means the date first, then month in text form, and then year, the last two digits of the year. So this is how I'll be able to, format the date. Now, another conditional formatting plays an important role, which says that, I want the people that you can see that this is something written in experience. I'll quickly design this once again, the same way we have done. So I have selected the cell border, and this thing is in, the header is in bold right now. Now, I want, this is the year of experience. I want that every people who has experience of more than 3 years, that particular cell comes in green. So what I have to do, that there are a lot of people, there are more than 100 people, and a lot of people who have more than 3 years of experience. So either 3 years or more than 3 years of experience. I want to know about that particular people specifically. So what I can do here, I can simply select the column of experience in years, and then there is an option called conditional formatting. You can see that conditional formatting, right? This conditional formatting plays an important role. There is a drop down beside conditional formatting. The moment I click on conditional formatting, right, the drop down menu, it says highlight cell rules. Highlight cell rules. Then the moment I click on highlight cell rules, again there are other options come like greater than, less than, between, equals to, text contain, date occurring, duplicate values. So date uh, greater than. So I said any people who has more than 3 or equals to 3 years of experience should come. So the moment I use this greater than thing, so what will happen? What will happen? The moment I put 3, so any number which is greater than 3 will turn into the desired format. So it says anyone who is more than 3 years of experience will come in green color. But what I want the 3 has to be also included. So this is not the right option. The right option is highlight cell rule, and then we have to go to more rules. Now more rules says that format only the cell value, right? And then cell value. Then after that, greater than. No, I don't need the greater than. It is greater than or equals to. So I select this, and then I put the value to it. I need to select again, right? Cell value, more rule, right? And I want the rule, I want this thing to be this one. Okay. Just a minute. Oh, right. I get it. Now here, this one. I will show you again. So there are format only cells that contains. 1 minute.
Setting a baby.
I request everyone to be on mute. Right. Yes, this is the format button. I want that automatically the color will be in blue. So, greater than equals to I request all the participants to be on mute, please. I can hear a lot of background voice. We have a lot of noise.
उस बच्चे को हमें गाइड करने की जरूरत नहीं है, वो योर दोस्त पे रजिस्ट्रेशन करेगा और काउंसलर से बात करें.
Can we please put our phone on mute, please? I'll do it.
वो जो है कॉलेज
Just a minute.
ले रखा है, उससे ये बोलो कि
Sanjay sir, you please put your phone on mute, please. Right. Thank you. Now going further. Right. So it says a value which is more than 3 has to be in green. Right. So conditional formatting. Value, highlight cell value, more rules, and then This is the format button. I want the color to be blue, auto if it is 3, okay, and if it is greater than or equals to 2. Oh, there is something wrong. I will, get back to you on this, but no worries. We can also find out, let's say, if there is an applicant name, and I want to check that is there any duplicate value of, name. Suppose there are 2 person with same name, and I want to pick up the name of that people. I can also use this same value, highlight cell value, duplicate value, right? The moment I click on duplicate, I can see that the name who are duplicate in their name, like we have Abhishek Singh in 2 thing, like this Abhishek Singh is twice, but when we go further, it says there are different date of birth. So this Abhishek Singh born on 30th June 1996, and the other Abhishek Singh is born on 1st of May 1997. So with the help of this, formula of conditional formatting, right, we can actually do lot of thing to it, and with the help of this, we'll be able to find out the thing. Then further, we will go on a basic mathematical combination. Right here, we are going to talk about very subtle things. So this is again one of the data we have. The data says student names, and in front of the data, we have the score of each subject. Right, these students doesn't look very studious, and it says in English, Suyash has only 35, 58, 67, 69, 62, right? So these are the data we have in front of it. And we want that the total of each student out of this 500. So what I do is I simply, the basic mathematics, I am sure that if we have to do it normally, we can, simply add that. In Excel also, we can use to, make a data in thing. So there is a shortcut to actually calculate it. If I need to total of Suyash at this column of G2, I need to simply put the cursor on this cell, and then there is an option called auto sum. The moment I click on auto sum, right, I will be able to, this formula will come, and it will say that from which column to which row to which row you want the thing. The moment I click, it will come the total like this. This is one way, the simple way, right? And the moment I click the moment I get the outcome of this number, and if I simply drag this whole formula in the other column, I can get the total of all the other students also. There is another way, the very simple way also. This is called use of formula. So whenever we use any formula, we use the operations button. So there are 2 ways why we will be able to tell Excel that we are going to use some formula here. So one, either by using equals to button or by using plus sign. So if you use plus sign or equals to button, Excel will come to know that, okay, now they are going to use some mathematical operations here. So the moment I say write equals to sum, the system started asking, it start giving me, the moment I write any letter, after equals to, if I write A, all the operation starts from A comes. If I write B, all the operations start with B comes. So what I need to do, I simply need to, have the sum of all this thing. So what I do, after equals to, I write SUM. Sum is one of the operation, and then whatever operation I have to do, I have to use the bracket symbol. That means I am going to tell the criteria to Excel that, okay, I need to do the sum, but I need the sum of any specific rows or columns. So I simply put, this thing, automatically the cursor will start blinking after the bracket button, and then we select all these numbers. Then after that, we need to close the bracket and enter, right? So this is one of the very simple way to have the total of any number, right? And if I get the sum of all the number, I can simply, you remember the black plus sign, right? So this plus sign help you to drag the data in all the cells. The moment I drag, it will automatically come in such a way. Now this is the total I have. Now I want that out of this total, I want the sum of English, Hindi, maths, and science. That means I want to have the number of only first 4 subject, which is English, Hindi, maths, and science, and I don't want the number of social study. So any number except, right, SST, that is social study. So what I am going to do is, out of total, I am going to remove the number. There are one way, either I can have the total of these 4 numbers, or I can do one thing. Out of total, I can subtract the number of social study. So when we have already the total of best 5 subject, what I can do is I can simply, use one formula, which is the subtraction formula, equals to SUB, right? And then bracket. Just a minute. Right, and the moment I use SUB, right, and then select this side, which is a 291. This is the total, and from this I want this thing to be minus, right? So I select F2. The moment I click close the bracket, it will give me the total. Or there is another way, simple way, which is select equals to, directly select the cell which is 291, and then use the button minus, and then select social study number. The moment I put enter, I will be able to get the number of 4 subjects without social study, right? So it's 229, and if I talk about Pulkit Jain, 230, 147, 200, 267. So very simple is, there is another way that we can do it, by simply using operation from subtracting from one cell to another cell. Then there is a multiplication also. So what I want to multiply, let's say this number is out of 100, and I want this number to be, out of, let's say from 200. So what I need to do is I simply need to multiply this number by 2. Why? Because if I multiply the number by 2, automatically the number will come in out of 200. So what I'm going to do is I simply going to multiply the number. So I simply use the equals to sign, which is the beginning of any operation. I select Hindi, and then I use the operation multiplication, which is the star button. The moment I use star, after that I need to multiply by 2, then I use the 2 number, and then it comes to 70. So this number was out of 100. Now this number is out of 200, and I simply need to drag the button from upside down, and then I get this thing. So here we have understand the plus sign, how to do the addition. Here in this column, we have understood how to subtract the data, and the third says how to multiply the data. Now this Hindi is out of 100. I want this Hindi number to be out of 50. So what is the right way? I can simply divide the Hindi's marks by 2, right? Then automatically I'll get the number out of 50, right? So very simple operation. Again, equals to sign, or this time we'll use plus sign. Then we will select this number, and then use the divide sign, which is slash sign, and divided by 2, right? The moment we enter, it says the number is out of 50. Right, that means half of the number will automatically come. So in these 4 operations, we have learned how to do addition, how to subtract, how to multiply, and how to divide. Now we need to understand the module. Next module says about average. Average plays an important role, because in especially when we are taking the average, especially in scores, and the people who are working in school or colleges, they use this average thing lot many times. So if I need to take out the average of any score, I simply need to again use the equals to button, and then I said any operations which I need to do, average A, B. See, the moment I write AV, automatically the average function starts appearing here. So I write average and then bracket sign. So the moment I use bracket, now system is asking what is, like, from which place to which place you want the average. So I want the average of all the 5 subjects. So I selected the 5 subjects here, and then I close the this thing, and I put enter. So now I can see the average of Suyash Saxena is 58.2. The similarly will be able to drag the data and will be able to get the average. Once again, it's nothing. We just need to use the equals to average is the operation, then bracket start, and then the 5 scores, from B2 to F2, we select all the 5 numbers and simply close the bracket. The moment we press enter, we get the data. And if we drag with the help of that plus sign, we'll be able to get the average of all the other students. The same way, let's take the percentage also. So percentage, which means that percentage of each student, how much is the percentage of each student. So percentage is very simple. In a way, if you have to take the percentage of anything, we can, a simple mathematical formula. You need to be good in maths, right? If you're not good in maths, then you will not be able to, use this. Why I'm saying is because, percentage thing plays an important role, and we have a very simple formula for the same, right? So this total number is out of 500, total out of 500. So what we simply need to do is anything, this number has to be divided by 500. This is how we do it. The total of all subject divided by the maximum number multiply by 100. So here we are using two operations. One is division and the second is multiplication. I am doing it intentionally. There is another way by using percentage option also, but the purpose of doing this is so that understand two operations together, that we are using the division operation also and we are using the multiplication operation also. So this number 291 is the marks obtained in 5 subject, and 500 is the total number multiplied by 100. The moment I do it, I can get the percentage of each student, right? So percentage and average is one of the same thing, right? But again, this is one of the way to take the percentage. Now I want to say, I want to see that, with maximum score, out of these 5 things, what is the maximum score? Maximum score means I need the maximum, like Suyash has maximum number in which subject? Very simple operation, equals to max. The moment I write max bracket, and then out of these 5 subjects, I will get the maximum. Like which subject has the maximum, that score will start reflecting. The moment I close the bracket and press enter, 69. So 69 Suyash received in science, right? The same is minimum. Like Suyash has minimum score in which subject, equals to MIN, and then again bracket, select all the 5 scores, and then I'll be able to do it. This is minimum. So Suyash has minimum marks 35 in this thing. So when I drag, I'll be able to do it. So these are the very small things which I'll be able to do. These are the basic mathematical operations we have discussed right now, right? And then we talk about, the case. Sometimes what happens is that whatever name we have, this is all in capital. I want this name to be in normal sentence formation, normal case. This name is in uppercase right now, and I want this whole name to be in a proper case or a sentence case. So Suyash Saxena is capital. So what I do is I give an operation which says equals to PROPER. This is called proper, right? I write equals to proper and then bracket, and it says which text you want in proper. So I click on Suyash and bracket close, enter. So you can see now here Suyash is written in capital, but here Suyash is written in proper, which means the first letter is capital and then subsequent letters are in a same way. If I want all the letters to be in lowercase, there is another one, equals to lower, right? And then this is capital. I want this thing to be in lower, right? So you can see Suyash Saxena, each and every letter is in lower case, right? The same way, I want all the things to be in uppercase. What I can do is very simple formula, right? Upper equals to upper bracket, and then if I want this whole lowercase to be in upper, I selected this. I selected this and enter. Right. You can see now here Suyash is in lowercase, but here Suyash is in uppercase. So these are very small things which we can use to do some basic formatting, and especially when I talk about the basic mathematical function. Right. Now we'll move towards the next module, which is the mathematical function of next module, which says, the month, number, name, year, date, count, and counter. Right. So you can see this is one data we have already in module 7. Oh, sorry, module 7, right? It include only 3 information. Just a minute. I request all the participants to be on mute so that I'll be able
Hello.
to. Right. So this is one thing which we have right now. With the help of this, I'll be able, this 3 data we have right now. And I have very quickly formatted this again, which I have told you, select everything, bracket, then header should be bold. Okay, these are also headers, right? And I want this thing to be in this, right? So you can see that this is the data we have. We have the applicant ID, we have applicant name and their date of birth. Now what I want is, I want to see that this Aviral Gupta is born on which day, right? On which day he has born, right? So which month he has born actually, right? So it says third. So there is one way that I can, select all the date of birth, right click, format cell, and then I can pick this option which gives me a day name. But if I only want day, then it says day, month, date, and year. But if I only want month, then what I can do is equals to text, right? And then this, right? And then I select this cell, bracket, comma, because we are right now giving a condition. So first we have chosen the value. Now we want to clear the criteria. And I want the month name only in 3 letters, like JAN for January, MAR for March. So I give a criteria by using double quotes, and I use MMM. That means 3M. And then I close the double quotes and then enter, close the bracket. The moment I do, I can see that the first 3 letters of the month will appear in front of me, right? I will show you once again how we have to do it. We have to simply write equals to text, select the date for which we want the month name, then criteria is double quotes, and then we have written MMM 3 times. M denotes to month, MMM, right? And then after that, we'll be able to get the 3 letters of the month. But if I want the complete name of the month, so instead of 3, I can type 4 M's. And when the moment I put enter, I can see the complete name of the month in front of me, right? So you can see the date, the months are matching here, March, January, May. Yes, it is. Now the same goes with year. Out of this date of birth, I only need year. So very simple thing, equals to, again, same text text, bracket, same value, C2, then comma, and then after that, again, I am going to show the criteria to this thing. So for year, if I want only 2 digits like 97, I can write YY 2 times. Or if I want the complete year 1997, then I can type YY 4 times. And then double quotes, close, bracket, close, enter. The moment I put enter, I can see now only the year, right? This is wonderful. Then we talk about the day. I want that I need the specific day of this particular person, that on which day he has born. Same, equals to text, bracket, select the column, right? Then comma, and then again I'm going to set the criteria. This time I'm going to write DDD, 3D, right? So the moment I write 3D, right? So I can see the moment I write 3D, it says sun, the first 3 letters of the day, right? But if I want the complete name of the day, then the moment I write 4D, I get the complete name of the day, which says Sunday or whatever day he has born, right? So this is the way we'll be able to take out the name of days, months, and year from any specific dates, right? Now, I want to know that how many people are born in 1995, how many people are born in 1996, how many people are born in 1997, and so on, 1998. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a very simple operation which says count if. Count if, that means this whole operation, with the help of this operation, the Excel is going to count the number of cells, and if in that cell he find out 1995, it will only write the same, the same number in front of me. So let's say how many people are born in 1995. So equals to the starting of the operation, I write COUNT NP, and then this is count. If I want to have the count of all the people, right, irrespective of any criteria, then I only use count. So it will give me a count. I'll show you very quickly that what exactly count means, that how many people are there, how many people. So it says 0. Oh, because it counts only the number, right? So if I put this thing here, and instead of E2, okay, so this actually, oh, just there is a problem, I believe, right? So let's talk about count if as of now, right? So the count if says how many people are born in year 1995. So this is the column of year. I write count if, it says range. So range is this column. These are the range. I have select the range. Then after that, I need to put the comma to tell that I need one more operation. And then I set the criteria that wherever 1995 is there, it should count that. So I write 1995, bracket close, enter. It says there is only one person who is born in year 1995. So I can see only one person, 1995. Yes, Shubham Chaudhary is born in 1995. And if I want to find out how many people are born in 1996, right? I can again do the same thing, equals to count if, bracket. Again, I select that from which range I want the data, comma. You can see this here, the operation is going on. Then double column, and this time I need 1996. Double quotes close, bracket close, enter. I can see 9 people are born in 1996. There is another, if I need to repeat the operation, there is one more way I can do it. And with the help of this, I can do it. I can simply copy the operation, right? And simply copy the formula and paste in 1997. But the moment I do it, I can see that it is actually counting 1997. We have less people, but it shows 9. Why? Because in criteria, we have written 1996. So I can directly write 1997 here. And the moment I change the criteria, it gives me the figure of 1997. Copy. Now, let me see how many people are born in 1998. Copy paste. And then here I pick 1998, right? So this is how we gonna do it. These are the people who are born at different time, different place, right? The same way, if I need to select the number of days, I can simply do it by using COUNTIF formula, that how many days people have born. So if let's say if Monday, very simple, how many people have born in Monday, equals to COUNTIF, bracket, and then select the range, then comma, criteria, double quotes, MONDAY, Monday, and then bracket close, enter. It says 2 persons have born on Monday. So we have 2 people with Monday. So this is COUNTIF, right? Now, this is the end of basic mathematical formation. Now let's talk about the simple basic operations, which talks about basic data analysis. When I say this, that includes uh, the basic data analysis skill, which includes searching, replacing, spelling check, filter, conditional filter, filter by category, right? And sorting by number, sorting by text, sort by color, and custom sort. We are very quickly going to do it. It's a very simple thing. Again, go back to the sheet we have. So this is a sheet of sorting and filtering. Very quickly, why I have not done this, so that every time whenever we open the new module, we'll get an opportunity to format, so that the more we practice, we'll be able to do it more. The same data which we have used, you must have the same Excel sheet with you. If not, then you can write your email ID on the chat box, and we'll be getting the practice sheet at your place. So this is, now we have the data, and what are we going to do with this, right? So with the, I'm going to simply tell you that this is the simple data we have right now. right? Very simple. If we have such a big data with us, so if I want to find one person, let's say Suyash Saxena, I want to find out Suyash Saxena in this 100 name, it will be very tough for me. So Excel has given one shortcut which says, replace or find button. So if we want to find out that dialog box in our keyboard, we just simply need to click Control F together, Control F, and then this dialog box come, and it has two options. One is find, second is replace. So the moment I click on find what, it says I need to find Suyash. The moment I type Suyash and press enter or press next, right, I'll be able to find Suyash. The system will automatically pick me to this thing. You can see this has automatically turned, it has been selected by the Excel automatically in green format. So it says Suyash. If I want to see that how many Suyash are there with the same name, I can click on all, find all. But fortunately, we have only one Suyash. But we have seen that in last we have two Abhishek. So this time we'll find Abhishek. The moment I write Abhishek and find all, it says there are two Abhishek. So you can see it also gives me an option. So if I click on this, so this Abhishek Kaushik, and if I click on this, it gives me, no, we have four Abhishek. Okay. So if I click on this, it will give me, I can drag. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 Abhishek I have, right? So it gives me the option of finding out Abhishek at many places. One Abhishek, this is at 96th place. Then another one is at 69. You can see that it is always, whenever the moment I click on the option next, it gives me Abhishek with green color border. Then Abhishek Kumar at 32, Abhishek Kaushik 16, and then Abhishek Singh 10. We have Abhishek, very common name, right? So this is one thing. And if I want, this is one way. And if I really, this is the way we will be able to find out the thing. Now I want that in this Excel, I have seen that many people who are having 16,000 salary expectation, right? And I want that all the people who have 16,000 salary expectation, I want to change that 16,000 into 16,500. That means I want to replace all the value, all the cell which has 16,000 value should now change from 16,000 to 16,500. So what I do is, if I suppose I need to do the operation in this field of salary expectation, I select, this is the way, either by mouse or by using shift control down arrow. The moment I do it, my whole cell will be, selected. Now what I do is I click on Control F. Now here the same dialog box open, find and replace. Here it is Abhishek written because we have done the operation just few minutes back. And instead of find, I click on replace. Now this dialog box is asking, what do you want to replace, right? So first of all, find what? So what do you want to find first? I want to find all the column, all the cell which has 16,000 value. And you want to replace it with what? I want to replace it with 16,500, right? So this is the option. The moment I click on replace all, you can see the cell which has the value 16,000 earlier. Now it has the value of 16,500. So this replace all plays an important role, not only with number, but it goes with, the name also. So if I want anyone whose name is Abhishek, I want that name to be changed in, let's say, Abhishek should be changed into Sachin, right? So it will first search Abhishek, and then wherever it find Abhishek, it will change all the Abhishek to Sachin. So replace all. So now you can see that there is no Abhishek with us. All the Abhishek has converted into Sachin, right? So no Abhishek now. If I want to find Abhishek now, I cannot find because there is no Abhishek with us. So this is the way we can do it, searching, replacing. There is one more option, like suppose when we are doing some letter drafting or some kind of content we are writing. And if we want to check that whatever we are writing, if my spelling is correct or not, what I can do a spell check on the Excel sheet. So I select the whole Excel spreadsheet, and there are options, either with the help of, review, I can do a spelling check, or there is another option with the help of only by pressing function F7. If I click F7, it gives me an option of this. Right. All right. So F7 plays an important role. You can see the moment I click F7, it has given me an option of, selecting the thing. It is asking that this letter is not in dictionary. No, this is name, so I can ignore, right? So same way, suppose this is a English letter, applicant. If I change the spelling, applicant is now wrong. And the moment I click F7, it starts giving me an option, right? It is actually checking. I want to see that this applicant spelling is right. So I put the box here. Okay. I request everyone to be on mute first, please. Right. So now I have put my cursor here on applicant, and the moment I put the applicant, Control F7, it helps me to tell me the spelling. So applicant, he has given me an option that which option you are looking for. These are the words in the dictionary. So I see, okay, applicant spelling is wrong. I click on this and then I change. The moment I click on change, automatically the spelling of applicant, you can see now the applicant spelling has changed. So close to this module. Now, very quickly, we'll come to a very important thing, which is the filter. Filter plays an important role. Filter, why filter? Filter means we have hundreds of data with us and we want to choose very few specific thing with us. So what is that few specific thing we want? We want that all the people who have, let's say, the year of experience in front of me, I want to choose only that people that who has experience of, let's say, 3 years. Now, out of this data, if I go one by one, then I can see Anurag has 3 years of experience, Ajay Pal has 3 years of experience, and it will be very tough for me, So what I can do is I can use one option which is called filter. So filter is I simply select the header of that, data with me, and then I go into, there are options: home, insert, page layout, formula, data. I click on data. The moment I click on data, it says filter. This is the option filter comes in front of me. So the moment I click on filter, it gives me this drop down menu. You can see this drop down menu. This drop down menu plays an important role, right? So the moment I click on this drop down menu, it gives me an option. Select all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Select all is by default. So I remove the tick of select all and I only choose 3. The moment I click 3 and OK, I'll be able to, find out all the people, you can see all the people who have 3 years of experience are in front of me. So these are the people who are having 3 years of experience, right? Same way, I want people who are having 6 years of experience. Okay, I have only 2 people who has 6 years of experience. Now I want to see how many people I have with 7 years of experience. Okay, I have 2 people with 7 years of experience. So this filter plays an important role, right? So this is a filter. Now we can filter by category also. Filter by category, that means filter by category. So I want, applicant name, this is, I go into the filter applicant name, this is the filter option, drop down arrow, I clicked onto it and then say text filter. So I want the people whose name is, let's say again, Abhishek. So I want to see how many Abhishek have, apply for this particular job. So text filter, and I say contains. The moment I click on contain, it says, what do you want to look? So I say Abhishek. The moment I put OK, so all the people whose name is with Abhishek can come in front of me. So these are the ways by which we'll be able to, think. There is another way. Again, if I want to see how many people are from Agra, so I can choose the filter with city. Select, I untick this select all option and I put tick in front of Agra, and I can see that there are 4 people who have joined from Agra, right? So this is actually filter the data. Now another thing which says conditional filter, the conditional filter which I have shown that with the help of text, or if I say conditional filter, number by filter. So if I say anybody, anyone who has more than 3 years of experience, so I click on this drop down menu of experience. I went to number filter. I say greater than or equals to, right? And then I write 3 in front of it and put OK. The moment I put OK, all the people who have 3 years and more than experience has come in front of me. So this is conditional filter, right? Again, I select all. There is one, sometime when we have data in front of us, we are not able to identify that whether the filter is there or not. So the moment we use filter, always remember, right? All the number, towards your this thing, towards the column, this number turned into blue. So, earlier it was gray in color. When there is no filter, everything will be in gray. The moment I use any filter, the color number turns to blue. That means that there is a filter in the data. So this is one of the very simple way to identify that the data is there or not. Right. Now let's talk about the sorting. We have learned here searching, replacing, spelling check. Then we have learned filter. We are moving towards the sorting data. Sorting plays an important role. As of now, you can see the data has been sorted with the application ID. Sorting means it is in a sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But now I want this data to be in a alphabetically order. So I want the alphabetical order to be followed with name. So I click on the same arrow. I have already used a filter. I click on the application applicant name, the arrow in front of that, and then it says sort A to Z. The moment I click on A to Z, now you can see the data, the applicant ID is now puzzled, but the applicant name is in proper alphabetical order, right? The last is Y and the first is A. The same way I can do it by number also, right? If I want to do it again with application ID, I click on the thing. If I want the number to be smallest to largest, then sort. It gives you an option automatically. If you go in any row, any column which is having text value, it will always ask A to Z. But if any column or any row, any column which has a value of numeric, it will give you an option of 1 to, it gives you a smallest to largest option. So यहाँ पे we can see that we are having, the application ID from in numeric. So it says smallest to largest, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can do it vice versa also. We can do it largest to smallest. So 100 to in the reverse order, right? We can do it simply for date of birth also. If I want the younger one, the oldest one should be on top, and the newest, the younger one should be at the bottom. So oldest means the one who is older in terms of age will come at the top. So Subham Chaudhary is the eldest one, which is he has a date of birth of 1st of this is in the month 1st, 4th January 1995. The same goes with Indranil Ganguly, right? So you can see where these people are as per their date of birth, right? And if I want, the people with less experience first, and then I need the experienced people on top. So I choose, largest to smallest. So those people who have the bigger experience will come at the top, and the one who has less experience will come at the down. So these are the option for sorting. Sorting data plays an important role. Sometime, it plays an important role. If, let's say I have put all the people who are, right, 5 years and above experience. I turn their color into, let's say, green. So these are the people I want. But because of some reason, I sorted the data according to application ID. But now the data, you can see all the data are scattered now. Now it is not at one place. I want all the cells who are in green, should, come in front of me. So I want the data to be sorted as per the color. So I simply, click on the same cell. It says sort by color. So the moment I, when there was no color, this option was hidden. But now there is a color in the column. It shows sort by color. So which one option you want? I want to sort the data in who are in green in color. So you can see those who are in green at top and who are not in green at the bottom. We can do the same with filter also. If I want only the data to be, it is written filter by color. So I want all the people who are not green, no fill, should be reflected, and rest everything should be, not visible. So now here I use filter option. Filter all the people who are not in green are in front of me, right? Vice versa, if I want the data to be filtered, filter gives you the specific information. the what you want. And sorting data actually sorts the data in this kind of sequence which we look for. Now the data is only in green. So here we have completed this module of these three module of 8, 9, 10, which is searching, replacing, spelling check, filter, conditional filter, filter by category, sorting number, sorting by text, sorting by color, and we have also shown custom sort also. Now moving towards the next, this is the most important, pivot table. So pivot table, again, the same data as I told you, I have put all the data in the same way which I want, very simple way. Again, I have formatted the data. Now this pivot table is a very powerful tool, very, very powerful tool, right? I've removed the filter from this cell, right? If I want to remove the filter, this is the way I can tell you, filter and this thing. If I want filter, then I need to choose it, the header, because if there is no data in header, then filter won't work, right? So I want data filter, and if I want to remove the filter, again I can click on that can be removed. Now pivot table. Pivot table plays an important role here. Why we need data in pivot table? Pivot table is actually going automate your lot of work. So pivot table is actually gives you a lot of clarity to sort out data in different way. You can filter the data in different way. You can actually generate report the way you want to do it. So Abhi, as of now, you can see the data is in different way. It is not in sequence. So I have again put the filter. Now I want the data to be sorted in smallest to largest as per the application, right? Now, if I want the pivot table to be used, so there is an option called insert beside home, file home insert. I went to insert and it says pivot table. I simply click on pivot table. It says, it gives you a dialog box like this. It says select a table or range. Table range comes here. And I just don't need to do anything. If I want the pivot table to be made in the same spreadsheet, then I click on existing worksheet. But if I want the pivot table on the next worksheet in the same file, then I click new worksheet. So I always choose new worksheet because it gives me a lot of space to do my creativity. So I selected new spreadsheet and then click OK. The moment I click OK, it has opened a new sheet like with name of here as 4. Now you can see there is some kind of thing has come. It has given me a pivot field towards my right, and it has given me this kind of option which said to build a report, choose field from the pivot field list. Now there are 4 important areas which we have to really understand. We have understood how to insert the pivot table, right? Pivot element. Now it is very important. What are the 4 important elements? We have to find out this. The very 4 important is one. There are 4. You can see this 4 quadrants. One is filter, one is column, one is row, one is value, right? And all the header which we have here. These are the headers we have. These are the headers, right? Applicant's name, right? Date of birth, right? And then experience in year, salary, city, and this thing. The same thing have come here. The same header is now reflecting in sheet 4 here with us. So it says applicant ID, applicant name, date of birth, experience in year, salary expectation, city, and year of birth. These are the same header we have right now. Now, the first important thing is that how I want my data to be presented. So there are 2 options. Either I want my data to be present as per column, or I want my data to be present as per row. So I need to decide that how do I want my data to be presented. So let's say I want the year of birth. I choose year of birth. I want my data in column. So what I do is I click on year of birth. Oh, right here. So it gives me an option of row. So these are the row has come here in front of it. Now I want to see that how many people have born, right? So I put the data. If I want the data in column like this, it can be done like this. 1995. I pick the this header into here. You can see there is a difference. If the moment I put in column, it has started coming in this way, and if I put the data in row, it comes in this way, right? So I need to decide which the way my report has to be. So I decided the report format should be like this. So row column year 1995, 96, 97, 98. I want to know how many people have born here, how many applicants have born as per their age. So what I do is I want to know, so I choose applicant ID, right? Applicant IDs, right? So the moment I choose applicant ID, I can drag it down to the value, right? The value, the moment I choose the value, you can see it is written sum of applicant ID. Now sum of applicant ID, that means it is taking the total of applicant ID. But now I want to know that how many people are born in 1995. So instead of sum, I tell, there is a drop down menu. I can ask that I don't want sum, I want to change the value field setting. So the moment I click on this drop down menu of this thing, okay, this thing, I actually make it, drag it up for you so that you can see it's clearly visible. So here we have a drop down menu in front of sum of application. Drop down menu, we click on it, value field setting. Now I want to have a count. The moment I click on count, this is what we have. So we have 3 people who are born in 1995. We have, you know, 49 people born in 96, 45 people 97, and 3 people born in 1998. And the same way, if I want to change the data in another way, so let's drag back this thing. Now I want the experience. So what I want is I want the people of experience here. Oh, this is wrong. No, this one. Experience, right? So the just a moment. Where is the experience column? So I have picked experience, right? I want the experience to be in this way. So these are the people who are having 1 year of experience, 2 years of experience, 3, 4, 5. Now, and I want to know that how many people have 1 year of experience, how many people are. So I can simply go, I want the value. Which way? I want to count. I want the count of people who have born in, who have 1 year of experience. So we have 6 applicant who has 1 year of experience. We have 23 applicants who have 2 years of experience, and same it goes further, right? So this is the way we can actually use the pivot table, right? And this is a very simple way, but this is, again, I've said pivot table is a lot of thing to do it. Even if we want to take the session, complete session on pivot table for 4 hours, we can do it. But as of now, I have just shared a very basic, requirement of pivot table. Very quickly, we'll move towards the next thing, right? Suppose I want to make one table which says how many people I have, born, how many people I have, city, from specific city. So I said these are the people who are from Agra, and the same way I want applicant ID. So I pick the applicant ID and put it in value, and then count. Again, change value, count. I can see 4 people from Agra. Oh, we have 20 people from Dhanbad, 10 people from Amroha, 16 people from Ghaziabad. These are the things. Now I want to have a very simple graph. I want to see in this thing. I want to present in the graph form. So we have a very simple way. Either we can use either we can use the way in a we want the graph, we want to see that how, from different city, how many people are there. So I simply, select these people and go into insert. And then, the moment I click on insert, there are options in front of me. How do I want to know? So the option is, the graph option. It says you want the graph in line format, column format, right? So I choose line, right? It says location, right? And just a minute. The moment I chose this, and then it comes like this, right? So here I can see, this whole presentation, this sheet which has a value. Now it is in a chart form. That means the chart is in front of me, right? So with the help of insert graph, I will be able to make this thing in a bar graph. right? So I can see the number is written. If I want to add the value to this graph, I don't know that what exactly it is between 0 to 5. So I want to know how many exactly people are there. So I simply need to right click and right click on this and I add label to it. So I can do it for all, right? You can see automatically all the bars are selected, right? I put right click on any bar, right? Format data label. It says add trade line. Right. Says just a minute. It has open here also. So I can say 1 second. Just a minute. Format data label. The moment I click on format data label, this dialog box comes. So what I want, the series name. Oh no, series name. I want value. So I click the value. The moment I click the value, I can see that these values are in front of me visibly. I will show you once again. Very quickly I click on all the thing. All the bars are highlighted. Right click on that and then format data label. The moment I click on format data label, I get this kind of table in front of me. I click on value. If I remove, value will be invisible. And if I do it again, the value will be again in front of me, right? So this is the way we will be able to do it. And also you can use the type of chart. If I want to change the chart type, I just simply need to right click on the chart and say change chart type. I want now this chart to be in pie. Pie is one of the important thing. Why I've chosen pie, because I can see demographically that okay, this is Agra, blue color Agra, Aligarh, red, green Allahabad. If I want to add data label, again the same thing. I need to select, right click, right, data, format data label, format data label, right, and I need to choose the category name. The moment I choose category name, it is visible in front of me that okay, Allahabad I have 9 people, Amroha I have 10, Dhanbad I have 20. So these are the very small thing. In the coming session, we will be also doing a little bit of advanced Excel with the help of dashboard and all. And there, this is going to be a very important thing. So that's why I have shown you this way. I hope we'll be able to do it next. If anybody is missing anything, you don't need to worry about it, because this video is going to be live on YouTube also. You'll be able to watch it from there if you miss anything, right? And then this is over now. And the last and most important thing which we are going to learn today is the print option, right? So print option, the last topic of the webinar. This print option plays an important role, right? So I have chosen the same data. If I want to have a print of this data, right? So I can simply do it by using Control P. The moment I use Control P, this option comes up in front of me, right? So this option of Control P plays an important role. Is it the way I want the thing? No, I don't want my data to be printed like this. So this gives you a print preview. It is only printing this way, and my whole data has been divided into 6 spreadsheet, right? So this is not the right way. I want my data to be printed in a different way. Now, I want to see that how my print will be visible. So what I do is I simply go on view option. Here I can see page break preview. The moment I click on page break preview, I can actually see my data in a printed way. So it says, you can see this is written in gray, page 1, right? Then it says page 2, then page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6. So this blue color line shows that my data will be printed this way. If I want that all the data should be printed in the right way, so I want at least this data to be printed in one page. So I simply drag it down. The moment I drag, I can drag like this. I can, this blue color. The moment this is the blue color is in page number 1. So I can, click this way. Right. So by page view, I will be able to see how I am going to print my data. If I want to print the whole data in one page, I can do it by dragging this thing, but this is going to be very small, right? It will not be readable. So my whole data is at one page number one. If I go and click on the print preview, we can see the data will be having, will be printed in this way, which I don't like. Now I want my data to be printed like this, but I want to print this data in two ways, like 100. So I want my data to be printed in 50-50 way. So what I do is I simply select the data, right? Mm, just a minute. I simply select the data and I drag the data. Okay, this blue cell I have to drag up. Just a minute. Drag up, drag up, drag up, drag up. Okay, here we go. So here I have reached. So now I want this data of page number one should be print. So the moment I click on this, the data will be, printed like this. But again, it is not very much visible. So we have, page setup option. The moment we click Control P, we get this dialog box under which we have a page setup option. So we'll be able to, print this way. So here it says adjust to 48%. So I want to, first I need to, do it something like this. Margin, I want this data horizontally, fit. I can reduce the margin also here. If I want the margin to be zero point 0.5 top and zero point 0.5 bottom, I can do it. Even in left also I can have 0.5 bottom, right, left 5 and then right 5. Okay, then I go on page, I increase my visibility, this, right, and go back. So you can see that it has built up a little low this way. Just a minute. There is a problem with the mouse. Hmm. Just a minute. Right. So here we have an option, right? We can actually change the orientation. We'll put it in landscape now, and then we increase its adjustment page. Right. Now this is the data we have right now. So again, it's coming on 2 pages. Oh, that's wonderful. Now you can see that the data has been come in 2 pages. From page number 1 of 1, it has a data of 1 to 50, and from page number 2, we have a data of remaining 51 to 100. So this is the way we'll be able to do it. This page setup option in print plays an important role. And if we want that, don't want to print all the data. If we want to only print a selected data, then we can do one thing. We can actually select the option. Suppose I want this option, the selected option, to be print in a way only on the in the printer. So I just need to simply select the data, Control P, and the moment I go on Control P, I can say control scaling, and it says oh, print, print active sheets. It says print selection. The moment I click on print selection, the area which I had selected earlier will come in print form. So these are the two ways, right? So one way which I have told you is the page break view, which we have shared here from here, right? With the help of that, we'll be able to see that how we are able to see the page breakup view. On the second option is this dialog box of print. With the help of that, we'll be able to change our setting, right? And we can also change the adjustment size. We can change the margin, right? And we'll be able to make it more visible, right? So this is what it is all about. So that is what we have done as of now. We have covered this area as of now. So all the 6 topics have been covered in this topic in this presentation. Now I want to, this is the the last print. Now the floor is open for question and answer. It has went way beyond the time. I was thinking to complete in 1 hour, but a lot of topics were there. So if anybody has any question, they can unmute themselves and ask, and I'll be happy to answer. Right? If anybody has any question and answer. Right. If anybody would like to ask anything.
Hello, Mohan.
Yes, sir.
This is Jagmeet.
Hi, Jagmeet. Please tell me.
We don't have any question regarding your Excel. You have explained so much in depth, but just want to thank you so much for enhancing our knowledge as well as skills and our Excel. It will definitely add in our day-to-day professional life.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jagmeet. Thanks a lot for your feedback. And one more thing, that this is just a beginning. And if anybody has missed any point, you can always go to our YouTube channel and have the same kind of video over there. We'll be uploading the video in next 48 hours, and you will be able to see the same thing, right? If anybody has any question, probably can speak or share. These are our upcoming webinars, which you will be able to see.
This side.
I'm sorry. Yes, who is this?
Sanjeev Srivastava this side.
Yes, Sanjeev sir, please tell me.
When will be the
Sir, your voice is not audible.
topic?
Sanjeev sir, your voice is not clear. Can you please keep your mic little far from your mouth? Your voice is...
Like when will be the advanced version of this course?
Sir, all the information will be published on our website, and also it will be on the social networking webpage, which I will be sharing it with you, right? If you want to know about this, you can always visit our website, which is www.datarates.com/webinar/index@.h1htm, or you can also simply visit our website, which I have already told you. We are also have our social presence on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, right? And so there also you can find out all the information of the upcoming webinar. So these are some of the webinar which I have written. We are going to come very soon with cybersecurity and networking, full stack development, data science and artificial intelligence, robotic process automation, software testing, IoT, transformative, advanced Excel, which I have told you with dashboard, and then there are a few topics which relates to life skills in corporate life, right? So these are the topic which we are going to have this. And as I've told you, if you want to write to us, you can visit datarates.com, or you can mail us through connect@datarates.com. And as I've told you, we are available on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. So these are the options by which you will be able to connect with us, right? Or that's all from my end. If you are such a lovely audience, people, after this mail, you will be getting an email link, right?